Hey guys, it's all around Danny, and today I'm bringing you a tutorial on how to create a speedometer chart on Microsoft Excel 2010. Now I know that this method works with Microsoft Excel 2010, 2013, and 2007, but I'm not sure if it works with 2003. Now the first thing you have to do is open up, of course, your Microsoft Excel page, and for this we're going to be creating two different tables. One of them is for the actual speedometer, you know, the semicircle that goes up and down as my mouse is showing you, and the other table is going to be for the actual needle that goes left and right according to what value you plug in. Now first off, we're going to name our first table speedometer, and we're going to type in values for this row as follows. First one's going to be min, as in minimum value. Second one's initial. Third one's middle. Fourth one is end. And the fifth one is max. Now the maximum value always has to be 100. The minimum always has to be 0. But the initial, middle, and end can vary as long as the three add up to 100. For this video, we're just going to make them 20, 35, and 45. Moving on to our second table. Now for our second table, we're going to name this needle. You can name it whatever you want. This column, we're going to type in value, gauge, you can name this whatever you want, and then end. Now you type in the end last. For the value, we can type in whatever number that's below 100. Let's say we're going to type in 50. The gauge always has to be at 1. It can't change. And this value is going to be as follows. It's going to be these four values, which equals 200 minus these two values, which is 51. So 200 minus 51 is 149. Now what's going to happen with the speedometer is that when we plug in a different number for here, let's say we plug in 40, this is going to change to 159 because the value of 200 minus whatever has changed. So what we have to do is that we have to plug in a formula in this cell that goes along with that concept. So we type in equals 200 minus parentheses F3 plus F4. Now, depending on where you made your tables, F3 and F4 are going to vary. If you plugged it on H3, H4, you're going to type in that. It just depends where you put in your chart. You click enter and watch what happens. Let's say you plug in 20, you plug in 30, it changes accordingly. So that's what's going to happen with the speedometer as well. So now moving on to the actual speedometer. So what we have to do is that we're going to have to highlight all 5 values of the speedometer table. Go to insert, go all the way over here where it says other charts, go to where it says donut chart, and click on the first one. Now you're going to see that this donut with different colors that doesn't look like a speedometer pops up. We're going to fix this in just a moment. So we click on the donut, we right click it, we go all the way to the bottom to where it says format data series, and we're going to have a series of options. Now we're going to go on the first one where it says, talks about the rotation, and we're going to type in 270. Now you see it rotates to create a semicircle and then 1/2. That's just like there. Now what we're going to have to do is that we're going to have to change the color and make one of these halves disappear. So we do this like this. We click on the whole donut. We right click it and we go to format data series once again. Now what we're going to do is that we're going to actually click the bottom half only. So you double click it and it'll click the bottom half, and we're going to go to fill. We're going to go to no fill. We're going to type in no fill. So that disappears. Now we go to the right side and we're going to fill this in with a green color. Bright green. The middle, we're going to fill this in with a bright yellow, and the left side we're going to fill this in with a bright red. That's it for the actual speedometer. We don't need this legend on the side, so that's about it for that. So now moving on to the needle. So what we do is that we click on our donut. As you can see, the bottom half of the donut is still there, but it's just invisible. We click on it, we go to select data, and this select data source pops up. So right here we're going to have a section where it says legend entries or series. You click right under it where it says add, and you add a series. you see that it's already clicked on series name. What you do is that you click on the name of your table, which is needle, and then you go on the under it where it says series values, delete the value that's already there, and you click on the first value, which is in this case is 50. You press shift and you go all the way to the third value, which is 149. In this case, whatever it is, you just click it for your 3 boxes, whatever you have, according to whatever you had. Click OK, and then you see that this second donut pops up on top of our first donut. But we're going to fix that in just a second. We click OK, and then we click on our second donut. So what we do here is that we right click on it, we go to change series chart type, and then we go all the way up and we change it to a pie chart, and it'll look like so. So what we do now is that we have to click on our second chart, which is the pie chart. And actually for this section, make sure that you're clicking on the pie chart, because since everything's on top of each other, it's possible that you're clicking, as you can see right here, I'm clicking on the first table, which is the donut chart, and then if I change that, everything's gonna get messed up. So you have to make sure you're clicking on the pie chart right here. You make sure you're clicking on the right thing by looking back at your table and seeing that that's what's highlighted. So when you click on that, you go right here, you right click it, and you go to format data series. Now what you do here is that you go right on the bottom of the first option where it says plot series on, and you click on secondary axis. After that, you go to where it says rotation, and we're going to put the same rotation that we put on our donut chart, which is 270, and click enter. Now when this happens, what you have to do is that you have to click on the biggest section of your pie chart. And you can, by the way, just a quick pointer, when you want to right click it and come up with the format data with your format data point, format data series, whatever it's called, you can either double click it or click it once and then right click. Either way works fine, you get the same result. So what you do now is that you go to fill, you go to no fill, and that disappears, so you can see the speedometer on the back. You go to the second biggest portion, you go to fill, no fill, and as you can see, it looks more like a speedometer right now. Now what we do now is that we go to the little section, tiny section in the middle, we go to fill, we're going to make this a solid black, and that's about it for the speedometer part, for the actual for the actual image. Now what we have to do is that we have to insert a formula to make the speedometer go from left to right according to what we type in on the value place. So what we do now is that we click on our needle, we right click it, and we go to add data label. So as you see, this number 1 comes up and you click on it. You have to make sure you're actually clicking on it to change it right there. When it's like I just told you, you go over here to where to your formula bar, and you click on it and you type in equals, and then you click on your value of 50. In this case it's 50. If you change it, it's alright. It's just the cell that's right next to the value title. So you click on right there and you click enter. Now what just happened is that basically the formula told the needle to move according to what you typed in to your value cell. So let's say we change this to 40. As you can see, the needle moves to the left to wherever 40 is, and on top of this, your end value also changes thanks to the formula that we plugged in the beginning. So we can change this to any value, 70, 100, it'll go there. If we type in, let's say 200, it'll go over there. But you just make sure you keep the values at 100 or less. Let's say 1, 2, and so on and so forth, 20, or so on and so forth. And this is it, guys. This is how you make a speedometer in Microsoft Excel. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Ask me any questions in the comment bar, or send me a message if you have any questions concerning this, if you couldn't get it, or any suggestions on new tutorials that I should make. Thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next video. Peace.